Ribblesdale is a large school. We have 1,250 pupils on roll. It's a comprehensive school. It's a fiercely competitive area, the Ribble Valley. We are in a selective area still of education. We're an 11 to 16 school, and we are quite traditional in many ways, other than we really do push using technology within the school. We're a Microsoft partner, one of only 5 academies within the Microsoft organisation. And we use technology very pragmatically to ensure that our pupils get the very best opportunities in their learning and indeed their teaching. I started teaching in 1990, so several years in education. I've been a head teacher for 12 years, and over both those periods we have seen an enormous amount of change. Of course, we've had more accountability, we've had more independence within schools, different types of schools, but as I've seen my career progress, I've also seen some really interesting developments in how youngsters learn, how we know about how they learn, and how we can use technology to make sure we get the very best out of our young people. Learning by Questions were interested in partnering with schools to trial and develop their new software, and we jumped at that opportunity to work with them. We were relatively sceptical to begin with, a healthy scepticism, and that's why we're so interested in actually ensuring that it was evaluated thoroughly and I suppose scientifically. The most important thing for me was to ensure that it was tested by somebody who perhaps had that degree of scepticism herself, and there came Emma to actually sort of be at the forefront of actually pushing this forward in our school.
I was approached by our deputy head teacher about trying out some new software, as it was put to me, for teaching maths in the classroom, and not given very much information really, just asked if I'd be interested and would like to be involved, to which I said yes. I like trying new things. We use My Maths quite extensively and have done for a number of years, and we also use Doddle. For me, the problem with maths using those sorts of programs is that they often tell pupils they're wrong and tell them the correct answer, but don't tell them why or give them a chance to try again. The difference with LbQ is that when a pupil gets something wrong, they instantly get feedback on their screen, which, as long as they read it, then it gives them hints and help in order to try again with the question, rather than just, no, that's wrong, the answer's 5. I think one of the biggest changes I've seen is in the engagement of the pupils. Pupils who would very quickly become off task because they weren't quite sure what to do no longer have that problem, because they're being prompted and because the software's helping them. They're instantly having another go at something and trying, and the fact that they can see their progress along the top of their screen really keeps them engaged and gets them quite competitive. I've used LbQ in so many different ways because it is so flexible. I can run one question set to consolidate something we're learning at the moment, or I can run up to 3 question sets to have pupils working independently on perhaps topics they found difficult, or perhaps for revision for an exam. So there is a great flexibility there. The instant live feedback on my screen shows me exactly which pupils know what they're doing and also those that are struggling. And once I can see that a pupil's struggling, I can go and help that individual pupil very quickly. Or alternatively, if there's 3 or 4 pupils, I can get them together and have a discussion around a table just with those pupils and see if I can unpick what the problem is. I think one of the biggest problems when you introduce something new in a department or in your lessons is that teachers are always worried about the extra work that will create. And the wonderful thing with LbQ has been a reduction in workload, because all that time we spent creating resources is taken away, and we can use the resource we're given more effectively and then work from that. I have quite quickly been won over, and I'm not easily won over. I am quite a skeptic when it comes to trying new things in the classroom. And I think for me the 2 things that have really won me over is seeing resilience improve in children. That willingness to have another go rather than give up has been wonderful. But also the results I've seen. To have a low ability group where nearly half of them exceed their end of year target in Easter is absolutely incredible, and the self-confidence and the motivation that's given them has just made me able to sing the praises of LbQ everywhere I go around school, and that is in itself catching, and as more people have tried it, more people have found the same.
I would suggest to certainly other head teachers to come and visit a school where it's working, go in there with an open mind and speak to the teachers and the young people, most importantly, about its day-to-day delivery. I think if you do that, you will see the benefits for your own school and absolutely adopt it.
Stephen has dropped into lessons a few times to see how it's going and to talk about the next developments. The first thing we did is roll it out throughout the whole maths department, so we now have 11 teachers using it in maths. What we'd like to do next is to move that out into science and English, and I've already started talking to the heads of those subjects and having people come in to see lessons in maths so that they can see how it works and start to try things for themselves.
We're keen to continue to work with LbQ. What we've enjoyed, I think, apart from developing the product, is actually the ongoing conversation, and the ongoing conversation with real professionals in terms of structuring a really coherent and a really well thought out learning programme. As a head teacher, there are always key areas which we are trying to improve. Of course, outcomes is one, engagement is another, teacher workload is yet another, and it quickly showed us it was a really strong tool for all of those areas. So across the whole school, as we're now sort of rolling it out, we're seeing more and more impact of what Emma really has been a pathfinder at finding out, and so far so good.
The reward for me has been better knowledge of my pupils, a better relationship with my pupils, which was already good, and just sheer enthusiasm in the classroom and such an energy in my room that it's a joy to come to work.